Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. And look what happens when you play the players in their best positions. Today, we see the best of Mainu. We see the best of Fernandes. We see the best of Lisandro Martinez. Let's be honest, everyone today was class. Apart from Dalot at times, who was very frustrating, but that's Diego Dalot for you. For anyone crying about Amorim leaving, in 14 months, we never got one performance like that. Today, we won 2-0, and it could have been 3, 4, 5. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get carried away because we know what these players are like. However, we never had one statement win under Amorim. Nothing that I really thought, I believed that this tenure was going to go well. Again, this Michael Carrick tenure might not go very well. But like I said, we've had a statement win. We've had a new manager bounce. I get it's only one game, but we didn't get that at all under Amorim. We struggled straight away. Like I say, we see the best of our players today. Bruno Fernandes, look at his quality. Get him in better positions. Amorim's playing our best player, quality-wise, at centre mid. Mainu who couldn't get in the team under Amorim. Look how good he was today against this City midfield. Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri. None of this robotic stuff about you staying in zones and doing this and doing that. Let the players play. And that's what happened today. Of course, there does need to be some tactical sense, like defensively, stopping your opponent, exposing their weaknesses, which we did today. We just didn't see that enough under Amorim, which was a shame. But the most important thing, we see the players running, doing the hard yards. How many times when we would attack, you'd see Bruno, you'd see Mainu, you'd see Casemiro sprinting back to get in position. You see our wingers sprinting across to double up with the fullbacks. Even Dalot, how many times did you see him? He'd be inside. As soon as that ball went out to Doku, he's sprinting out there. And I'm not a huge fan of Dalot, but I have to give the guy credit for today. Because you know what? Again, he probably should have been sent off. We probably got away with one there. However, he put the hard yards in. Doku was like John Cena today. He was anonymous. Nowhere to be seen. £70 million Semenyo. James Corden had him in his back pocket. Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, saying about Lisandro Martinez will be dragged around by Haaland. It's actually the other way around, and Haaland even got subbed off. Martinez does play well against Haaland. Look at the FA Cup final. When we lost 3-0 to him in this season's game, Martinez wasn't there because he was injured. But the disrespect Martinez gets, not sure, again, like I said, Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes doing that. I'm not sure why, but again, like I said, it was the other way around. Martinez was dragging Haaland around. Haaland was non-existent. But unfortunately today, it just shows how bad things were under Amorim. Like I said, we never had a performance like this under Amorim where we looked comfortable, even defending. City didn't really have too many chances. They had that chance with Bernardo Silva in the first half where Semenyo crosses it in. Dalot just needs to tuck around a bit quicker. But other than that, you couldn't really tell me about City's chances today because we didn't really see them. But then you go to our chances and look at the difference. We had Ahmad hitting the post late on. Should have been 3-0. Obviously, Cunha's just offside. In the first half, you know, if it stayed 0-0, Donnarumma would have been man of the match. And that just says a lot about the game. Donnarumma made some big saves. Casemiro should have scored. Mbeumo should have scored earlier when he had that volley. So it says a lot about the game when if it was 0-0, Donnarumma would have been man of the match. And again, like I say, I can't remember too many games under Amorim where the goalkeeper was man of the match because we was the much superior team. Like I say, look at the reverse fixture. We lost 3-0 to City. Barely laid a glove on them. I think they were 3-0 up by the 55th, 60th minute. I remember that last half an hour, like we was just obviously attacking them, really. But City had already won the game. We barely laid a glove on them. I think Donnarumma made a good save that game as well, but it was nothing, really. It was nothing crazy. But let's go through the teams. Finally, Lamens, he gets a clean sheet. And to be fair, he had nothing to do today, to be fair. I don't remember him making a save. He gave away that silly corner, and that was it. Dalot. I say this about him every week. He's so frustrating. If you put him in a horse's body, he would bark. That's just the type of player he is. He'll do something so good. Like there's been a couple of cross-field passes where you think, oh, what a ball. And then there was a time where City nearly got a chance from it. He's passed. There's 3 Man United players he got passed to, and he passes to the Man City player. And it's like, he does the unthinkable, but I got to give it to him. He did lock up Doku today. Doku was not as influential as he is on other games. Maguire, Martinez. You know I'm not really a big fan of Maguire, but I'll credit where credit's due. He was solid in there today. Won his headers, won his duels. Should have put us ahead again. We should have been ahead after 3 minutes. Martinez, obviously ex-legends were saying that Haaland was going to drag him around the pitch. Didn't see no dragging. He was dragging players around. That's what happened. Luke Shaw at left back. He done well. Coming up against Semenyo. Semenyo's a very good player. And you see how good he was against Newcastle the other night in the Carabao Cup. To be fair, like I said, I think Luke Shaw kind of had him locked up as well. The midfield three, Casemiro, who everyone said was done. Me included, I thought he was done, but this season he's come back better than ever. Mainu, the player that couldn't get in the team, that wasn't good enough to get in the team, according to Amorim. Look at him today. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like the thing what Mainu's brother done. I generally did not like that at all. However, he went and proved it with his performances today. I know he wasn't great in the last couple of games, but he's barely played. That was his first start today since May in the Premier League. He hadn't played a Premier League game since May. Hadn't started one, sorry. Hadn't started a game since May. And then Bruno Fernandes. For you lot that wanted us to sell Bruno Fernandes in the summer to fund Baleba, do not celebrate Bruno Fernandes' performances like that. How good is this guy? We haven't got anyone else with that quality. You do realise that, don't you? For you fans that are not a fan of Bruno, is he erratic? Is he frustrating at times? 100%. That ball in the first half to Dorgu. Who else in that football club is doing what Bruno is doing? Even the assist for Mbeumo's goal. A lot of you will say, well, yeah, it was just a simple pass. But it was a pitch perfect pass. It's just in front of Mbeumo. All he has to do is shoot. You see players, how many times is it just behind the player or just too far in front so they've got to lunge for it? Perfect weight of pass into Mbeumo. All he's got to do, on his favoured left foot, just hit it across goal. Again, he's a professional footballer. You would expect that. But how many times have we watched Premier League football, Champions League football, and seen them passes messed up? Put some respect on Bruno Fernandes' name. The quality on show today. We've got to keep him at this football club and get better players around him. And the front three, how much of a breath of fresh air is it to have Ahmad and Mbeumo back in the starting 11? You just see the quality, Ahmad one-on-one. Not just Ahmad's quality. Do you know what else I love about Ahmad? He's willing to put the hard yards in. He's willing to press. He's willing to go and help Dalot get 2-on-1 to stop Doku. And again, Amorim was playing Ahmad as a wing-back. As a wing-back. Brian Mbeumo. I always say about Brian Mbeumo, there's more to come from him. There's more to come from him. And look at the finish today. Again, I think he maybe could have had another one or maybe even more. You know, he had a few chances, but he can finish. And again, like I say, there's more to come from Brian Mbeumo. There is. And then Dorgu as well. Again, come in as a left back. He's went in and played at left wing, to be fair. And over this last few weeks of him playing left wing or right wing, he's actually learned. I said the other week that Dorgu doesn't run across his fullback when the ball's whipped in the box. And look what he does today. He goes and runs across his fullback, gets the second goal, and that was the killer for City. But Dorgu in general, like I said, again, he goes and puts the hard yards in. He works back, helps his fullback out. And then on top of that as well, he's not afraid to drive forward, put crosses into the box. And what helped massively today, every time we won the ball, Ahmad and Dorgu were on their bike. Straight away, get in behind. That's how you're going to hurt teams, by running in behind. We're not prime Barca. We never will be. That's not how we play. It's about hurting teams. Direct, runs in behind, quality, running at pace, committing, risk. Everything you see from United today is similar. Not going to say it's how Ferguson played, but it's similar. Just that bit of risk. Put balls in the box. Get people in there. Run across your man. Take your man on. It's one game, but just when the last 14 months have been so bad and we've not really even seen something where you can sit there and go, oh, do you know what? I can go off that performance that things are going to get better. I didn't see it at all. First game of the season under Amorim when we played against Arsenal, I thought maybe this is the turn of the tide, but we never see it. And hopefully we can go on a run now. Arsenal away next week. Going to be a difficult game. But I've quickly got to say, for all those City fans that were mocking it, saying that we're shit, we are shit. But guess what? Your title charge ended today. It ended. Done. Your checkbook manager, he couldn't do it against our shit team, which again, like I said, we are in a bad place. We are. However, we ended your title charge. That ended today at Old Trafford. Arsenal win today, which assuming they will, they'll be 9 points clear with 16 games to go. There is no chance that City bring this back. You haven't got De Bruyne. You haven't got David Silva. You haven't got Gundogan. Rodri's not looking as good as he used to. For the first time ever, Pep's having to work with players that are not the finished article. You know, Semenyo's a very good player. Doku's a very good player. Cherky, Reinders. You've got some very good players there. There's no denying that. But these players are not the finished article. And for Pep, that's not in Pep's DNA. He's rarely that you see people, you know, him progress players. He likes working with players that are already at the top of their game. Listen, who am I to judge Pep Guardiola when he's won everything? But Like I say, we're yet to see him build a squad and go and win the Premier League. He's already had it handed to him. David Silva in his prime, De Bruyne was in his prime. Haaland, obviously, was just a freak of nature, just scoring goals. You already had all the wingers come in as well. We had Sane, he had Sterling, he had Mahrez. He hasn't got them now. And City will not win the Premier League this season. Come back to this. City will not win the Premier League this season. But I tell you what, it is beautiful to see them crumble at Old Trafford. And as for you, Ryan Cherky, again, a very, very good footballer. He is going to be so good in a season's time once he's adapted a bit more to the Premier League. But I remember him saying he can't wait to face Man United. Injured in the first game. Second game, obviously, the game today, non-existent. Started on the bench, come on at halftime, done his best John Cena impersonation. That's why sometimes, unless you're Ronaldo or Messi, you should probably just shut your mouth, because 90% of the time, it comes back to haunt you. The last time he played at Old Trafford, he watched his team crumble a 2-goal lead in extra time to go out the Europa League with Lyon. So thank you, Cherky. I don't have much else to say. Like I said, positive performance, positive result. On to Arsenal away next week. This is what we should be getting, though. Arsenal away next week, another big, big game. But this is the type of performances we should be getting. We're playing one game a week. So we don't play now till Arsenal next Sunday. It means we've got a clear 7 days to prepare for the game. Amrim had this as well. He had all the time in the world to prepare for games, and we didn't get a performance like that once. It just shows how bad things were in them 14 months under Amrim.